Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. That was awesome, dude. That's what I wanted to see. That's what we all wanted to see the last game out. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to stay hanging on the negative of the loss in Phoenix because this game was sweet. Blowout city. Houston 111, Phoenix 81. With the victory, Houston improves to 35-30 on the year. As I mentioned in the last game, this was a revenge game for the team and for J-Lin. And J-Lin, as we figured, would respond, and he did. Revenge has been achieved. Now, all the starters for Houston were in double figure scoring, which is great. Much more balanced offensive distribution. Demo Donatas Motiejunas had a career-high 19 points, and overall the power forward position was strong tonight. Thomas Robinson also played well in the minutes that he had. As I mentioned, balanced offense, less ISO ball. I think the couple days off for the team to practice and kind of go over some strategy really helped. And you saw that tonight. This game was close for a while until Houston broke it open in the second quarter. And I was a little concerned because it was going like some of the other games, like the Milwaukee and these types of games where Houston's defense wasn't that good. And they were letting Phoenix hang around. But then they really sparked a run. And a lot of that came with J-Lin. And after that, the game was just out of reach, essentially, for Phoenix. So that was sweet. The team ran more offense for Jeremy. And we'll talk about that some. And it worked great, as I'm sure you saw if you were watching this game. Now, not only did Houston win, but the Lakers and Utah both lost. So this is a huge night for J-Lin and the Rockets. They needed to win this game. And now it's time to make a serious push for the number 6 seed. Golden State's playing as I make this video. Now, they're probably going to win tonight. They're playing against the Detroit Pistons at home in Oakland, California. So that's probably going to be a win. But Houston definitely can catch Golden State. They have the tiebreaker against Golden State, and I think they're like a game back or a game and a half back. It's not very much. And so let's make a push. Hopefully we can make a push. If nothing else, solidify the number 7 seed. But I think realistically, the team can get the 6 seed. So this is it. This is go time. We got 17 games left, and this is it. Now, Aaron Brooks also got some time tonight, which is good to see. The newly signed backup point guard. He played some tonight. As I mentioned, Thomas Robinson was good. He got like 12 points, 7 rebounds. A lot of that came in the fourth quarter when it was mostly just backups playing. But, yeah, again, you can see he can rebound the ball. And he can rebound the ball. And he had some nice plays in this game when the score was closer, when the game was actually still a game. So, Omer Asik and James Harden came into this game hurting. Omer had a strained groin, and James Harden has a sore foot. For Phoenix, Jermaine O'Neal, their backup center, or actually, no, he started tonight, I believe. He played tonight, whereas he did not play in the game in Phoenix. So that was another thing Houston had to overcome. Now, just want to quickly say, I did not get to do the second comments video I wanted to do. That was for Game 63 and Game 64. I was trying a different way to do it, and it just took too long, and then I fell behind. So I'm just going to move on. I just don't have enough time to go back and do that. And I apologize to those commenters who I didn't get to reply to. I know that Mei Chu Chen from, I believe, Taiwan and a bunch of other people left some really nice comments. And I'm just not going to be able to respond to them personally right now. I'm sorry about that, but I read everything. I know what you guys are saying, and again, I appreciate the comments, and I'll do my best to come in and comment in the comment section, and if not, to continue to do comment videos. And I'll do more comment videos. I just got caught up in this particular cycle. So what I'll try to do then is I'll just try to start probably doing comment videos from this video on. That'll be the next set of comment videos I do. So Game 65 going on. Now, after I talk more about this game, I'll talk about the trade rumor. Everybody's been asking me, trade rumor. Lin's going to get traded, Omer Asik. So I'll talk about that after I do quarter-by-quarter stuff. I still want to do a response video to the video that was brought to my attention by the YouTube channel JeremyLintel. And I actually talked with the person that runs JeremyLintel. His name's Andy. I know he's watched some of our videos. Andy, you might be watching this video. Great dude. And I do remember you, Andy, from the comments. I remember you clearly. I don't want to give your last name because I don't know if you want me to give your last name. So I'm just not going to do that right now. But if you tell me it's okay, then I'll be happy to do that. I will put a link in the video description below the video player to Andy's channel, the JeremyLintel channel. I definitely recommend the channel. You guys should go check Andy's stuff out. He's doing a great job. A lot of you have already seen some of his work because he did the Mikhail is a Lin doubter, nothing more, nothing less. And a bunch of people have brought that to my attention, a bunch of you guys. And I want to do a response video to that. I just haven't had a chance yet to watch it. So when I do get a chance to watch it, I'm going to do a video about it. But, I want everybody to welcome Andy to the JeremyLin YouTube community. There are a lot of people doing a lot of great work. I do the best that I can do. John does what he can do. We know that there's guys that are doing the highlight packages. Gerald and Blyon, I think is the way you say his name. There are people that are that do work. They're using just Asian characters that I'm not familiar with, so I can't tell you who they are. But there are a whole bunch of people doing good work. And I know watching one of Andy's videos that what he wants to do is do a more analytical approach about Jeremy, about Jeremy's game, and also just about the phenomenon of Linsanity and just more about Jeremy. So I definitely suggest his stuff. And we're happy to welcome Andy. And you're doing great, man. Like I said, I watched some of your stuff and it's good. And then we're happy to help you out and give you shouts out and support you all the way. Okay, let's talk about Jeremy, who played really well in this game. Jeremy finished with 13 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. He played 26 minutes, shot 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from three-point range, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. His plus-minus was plus 25, 1 personal foul, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, no block shots, and his efficiency number was 18, which is very good. He did not play the last 16 minutes or so of the game, and that's because it was a blowout. So basically, this game, his playing pattern was similar to the way that he played in the first Dallas game, which was to say the game was so lopsided, he didn't need to play in the fourth quarter. But to have an efficiency number of 18 in just 26 minutes is phenomenal. That translates to, 34 or something in 48 minutes. That's a phenomenal performance. I'm not quite going to brand it Linsanity 2.0. I've done it before where I've said Linsanity 2.0 when he played really well but didn't play a long time, but I've just hold back on this one, although there's nothing he did poorly in this game. The only thing he could have done a little bit better was control the turnovers a little bit more. There was a couple plays where he had near turnovers too. Recently, Jeremy's been a little less under control with running the offense, passing and stuff. He's been a little bit more hurried. And but that's the only thing I could say about this game. And even that, his assist to turnover was 6-2, 3-1. That's great. So that's just a minor criticism, very minor. But he played really well in this game. He outplayed Goran Dragic. Again, that's the revenge competitor here. That's his opposite number. Dragic didn't play badly, but his efficiency number was 14 versus Jeremy's 18. Dragic, if you remember, in the last game, torched Jeremy in the fourth quarter, particularly in the last half of the fourth quarter. I mean, he had a huge fourth quarter, even though Jeremy did well on him for almost an entire game until then. But it was a revenge situation, and Jeremy got revenge. I told you guys, I thought Jeremy was going to have a big game tonight. Why? Why do we always say? Because he responds well to challenges. He responds well when he doesn't play well. And he's always up for the challenge. And that's why he is Jeremy Lin of Linsanity, because he's good when the odds are against him. That's what he's about. He's a competitor, and he's competitive. And that's what we saw tonight. It was great. What Houston did better tonight in this game, and I think it was designed, meaning I don't think it was all Jeremy doing this. They ran more pick and rolls for Jeremy. They ran more, a lot of them were high pick and rolls. High pick and roll is more towards the top of the key, the top of the three-point arc, whereas, like a side pick and roll would be kind of below the free throw line and the lane extended, in that lower part, closer to the corners. They ran a lot of high pick and rolls for Jeremy. And what that does is it lets him get a running start towards the lane, a running start on layups. And he's so quick, once you give him that first step, he has got a great first step, plus you take his great first step plus his speed, and it's almost too late for a defender to track him once he gets that. That's why pick and rolls are so good for him, because of his first step and because of his speed. He had several plays in this game where it's just boom, quick pick and roll, and he's at the rim immediately, and no one's even there because he went too quick. That's how Jeremy scored so easily in Linsanity 1.0, and it really looked like the team was making an effort to do more of that. The reason why I say the team rather than Jeremy is, even though Jeremy runs the offense, if it's all Jeremy, I mean, the point guard, whoever has the ball can do what they want, right? So if I have the ball and I'm dribbling at the top of the key, I can tell my teammate, come set a pick for me. And, I mean, I could do that the entire game if I want to do that. But that's not what it looked like happened in this game. In other words, he wasn't telling people to run a pick and roll for him. They were coming up. That's why I thought it was more of a team strategy. Like, we're going to run more pick and rolls for Jeremy. So you go up and pick for him. And that's what it looked like happened. And it worked great. Right? We know Jeremy can do this, right? This is what the haters, he's a fluke. No, they just don't run pick and rolls like they ran last year. And now they're running them. Bing. Jeremy's getting easy hoops, and he's shooting over 50%. Right. So this was great. This was great. Okay, let's go quarter by quarter. Early in the first, Jeremy had a nice half-court pass to Demo for a little layup that was in transitions. Great play, great pass. Middle of the first, Jeremy hit an off-the-dribble three-point shot from 20 degrees left of the top of the arc. Very nice play, and again, he likes to shoot off the dribble. Also, middle of the first, Jeremy missed a little runner from like the right-hand side of the free throw lane extended. It was kind of a weird shot. I don't know. It was almost like a shot put shot. If you know shot put in track and field, you kind of shoot like that. It wasn't a bad shot, but it's a shot I hadn't seen Jeremy shoot a lot. I don't know how, it was a runner / floater, but it it's a shot I haven't seen him shot before. It's a little bit of a different one than what you usually see. I'm actually glad that he shot it, so that I got to see it, because what it says to me is he's working on more shots. He's trying to add more floaters, runners, it's leaners, etc. So even though the shot didn't work that well and it didn't look that good, it shows that he's doing more. He's trying to get more shots like that, and that's good. Even if so, it might not look good right now, but maybe next year it looks great. Okay, middle of the first, Jeremy had a nice steal. I don't think they actually credited him for this steal, but it's like someone else deflected it and it ended up in Jeremy's hands. And then he did another half-court pass. This one was to Chandler Bieber Parsons for a layup. Then soon after that, Jeremy did get a legitimate steal. He went, I think he stole it from Dragic. Then he beat Dragic down the floor for a little layup, which was very nice. Late in the first, Jeremy had a turnover. He kind of jumped. We talk about jumping the pass. It's like he kind of half jumped, and then he didn't pass it, so that's a travel. Like, it's an up and down. You can't go up in the air and come back down with the ball and try to dribble again or whatever. It's a travel if you don't shoot in that situation. And so, like I said, that's one of the examples where Jeremy was going a little bit too fast. We talked earlier in this year, in this season, where I'd say the game can sometimes be too fast for Jeremy. Now, we don't see that a lot anymore. But what he's doing is he's making it too fast because he's trying to do stuff too quick. So it's not that the game's going too quick. It's that he's making it go too quick. He's trying to go too quick himself. That was one of my criticisms of him in the last Phoenix game. I didn't express it well, but it was the reason why I was upset with Jeremy. One of them was he's playing fast for no reason. He's making mistakes when you don't have to make mistakes. Now, I know it's good to run a quick pace, and that's what he's trying to do. But don't go so quick that you beat yourself. And that's what I saw in the last game. Is he was doing things he didn't need to do. And there was a little bit of that tonight. But again, it was minor, and it was outweighed by how well he played. But it's just something he'll keep working at, and that's going to get better and better and better. Okay, Patrick Beverley came in for Jeremy with 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first quarter. At that point, Houston was up 23-21. Now, Jeremy started the second quarter on the bench just because Patrick Beverley was playing that normal bridge rotation between the first quarter, late in the first quarter, going in the second quarter. I made a note here, and I said the power forward spot is giving Houston a lot already on offense, and they did in this game. I've told you guys before, I'm happy with the trades of Patrick Patterson, and 2M, I guess, Marcus Morris, because you got to have time for Demo to play, and I like Thomas Robinson. You saw what Demo can do tonight. You really started to see what this guy can be. Remember, this is a young guy. He's got so much ability. Someone, I can't remember who it was, in the comments of the last game, I believe, or recent game, compared him to Pau Gasol. That's not a bad comparison. That's actually a pretty good comparison. They're built similarly. Pau might be a little bit thicker. Maybe not. The difference is, and Pau's phenomenal. I mean, look, if Demo can end up like Pau, Houston's going to be rolling for years. The difference is Demo can shoot threes right now. One of the reasons why Pau Gasol is struggling in Mike D'Antoni's offense with the Lakers is he doesn't shoot threes. So what they're trying to do in Los Angeles with Pau is they're trying to have him play a position known as the stretch four. 4 just refers to the power forward position. Each position has a number assigned to it. Point guard is 1, shooting guard is 2, small forward is 3, power forward 4, center 5. So a quote-unquote stretch 4 is someone that stretches the floor, meaning makes the defense come out and guard on the perimeter as a power forward. That's what Mike D'Antoni likes. So he's trying to be able to be a stretch forward. You need to be able to shoot threes. Pau Gasol doesn't shoot threes, and that's why he's not working in Mike D'Antoni's offense. But Demo already can shoot threes well. So what I'm saying is he could even be better on offense than Pau is, and Pau's great. Now, Pau's a phenomenal passer, one of the best big men passers in the league, maybe the best. And he's good on post-ups, but he doesn't stretch the floor. Demo can already stretch the floor, and he's got a great post-up game. That's why I'm so excited about this guy. You saw it tonight, 19 points, and easy points. Like, he wasn't working that hard to get the points. So this is why I was so happy with the trades of those guys, because of stuff like tonight. You have Demo getting 19 points, and you have Thomas Robinson getting 12 points and 7 boards. Now, a lot of that was garbage time, but yeah, productivity from the power forward position, that's what we want, consistent. And that's what these guys are going to be able to do soon. And you saw a glimpse of that tonight, and that's why I was so excited about it. Okay, Jeremy came back into the game with 7:53 left in the second quarter. At that point, Phoenix was ahead 35-31. Soon after he came into the game, Jeremy went right down the lane for a nice little running layup at the rim. He started from the right part of the free throw line, extended, so a little bit to the right of the free throw line. He came off a pick. I'm almost sure of it. Just one little step, 1 or 2 step dribbles, going left towards the middle of the lane. He's at the rim. He's off the rim. He's at the rim, excuse me. And that's what I'm saying. That's how easy it is. Set a couple picks for him. He's going to get you easy layups, just like that. Phoenix doesn't have a shot blocker. Jermaine O'Neal's old. And I like Jermaine O'Neal, but he's, at this point in his career, he's not a real shot blocker. There's nobody, if you get Jeremy going to the rim, no one's going to stop him. And that's exactly what happened on that play, and what happened a lot more tonight. Now, Phoenix was in a pretty good rhythm in this game in the middle of the second quarter. Houston was ahead, but they were only ahead by 5. And then Houston really tried to put a spurt on in the last half of the second quarter to really kind of start pulling away. Jeremy went right down the middle of the lane. He got tripped. Someone hit him and kind of made him stumble. And that got him 2 free throw shots. He hit both of those. Then he drew another foul. He wasn't in the act of shooting, so he didn't get any free throws, but he was helping to put pressure on Phoenix's defense. Late in the second, Jeremy drew a charge on Marcus Morris. So Jeremy was standing there, and Marcus Morris ran into him. That was a nice play. Again, late in the second, Jeremy got another high pick and roll and easily got to the rim. That came with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half, and now Houston was starting to pull away. And I made a note right then and said, yep, Houston running more pick and roll for J-Lin. That's key to him doing so well right now. Then Jeremy had a half-court turnover, so that was the second of his 2 turnovers. Also late in the second, Jeremy had a nice pass. James Harden was coming down behind him on a transition play. Just dished it back to Harden for a nice little layup. And then soon after that, Jeremy had a nice pass again to James Harden who was open for a three-point shot from about 10 degrees left of the top of the arc. And that put Houston up 13. So once again, when Jeremy's playing well, this offense explodes. And again, that's why I was hard on him last game. Now, look, people say it's not all fair to put it all on him. And that's true. It is. It's not fair. You can't expect Jeremy to play perfectly and everybody else, you don't grade them on the same standard. That I absolutely agree with that. But if Jeremy plays well and if Jeremy plays smart, everybody else plays well. And the offense runs because he's the point guard. He's the one that gets it started. So when he's playing well, everything goes well. And you guys know, people leave comments and say, hey, when Jeremy fouls out, the offense isn't good. When Jeremy's on the floor, it's not good. Right. That's right. It's not good because the offense works best when he's on the floor. But again, it's also his responsibility then. He needs to play smart. And if he doesn't play smart, Mikhail might bench him. And I'm going to tell the truth, like I did in the last game. Jeremy played great in the first and the third quarters of the last Phoenix game, but he didn't play well in the second and the fourth quarter. And that hurt the team. Now, is it all Jeremy's fault that they lost? No. But remember, these videos are about Jeremy Lin, so I'm going to focus on him. Even if it sounds like I'm dissing him or something, which is completely ridiculous. Again, nobody's a bigger Jeremy Lin fan than me. And this is probably like Mikhail. Mikhail's hard on Jeremy because he wants him to succeed. You need to play with discipline. That's how I feel. I'm hard on Jeremy because I want him to be the best. I want him to be the best. And being the best takes work. So you have to be able to roll with that. If you mess up, you got to be able to accept, I messed up. I could have done this better. And that's it. If people don't think you're any good, if people don't think you can be good, they won't spend any time on you. They won't criticize you because it's the best he could do. People know Jeremy can be good that have a brain in their head about basketball. So that's why some of them that care about Jeremy will be hard on him because they want him to get there. Again, I always use the example of the parents giving the kids sugar. If I don't care about my kids' teeth, then I'll give them all the sugar they want. But if I care about them, I'm not going to give it to them because it's not good. So I care about Jeremy, and I know how good he can be. So I'm going to criticize him when he does stuff poorly because I want him to be the best. And that's it. Okay, Jeremy started the third quarter. Again, another pick and roll for Jeremy. I can't remember where it was on the floor, but just another pick and roll, and boom, he's right at the rim for another layup. I mean, they couldn't stop it. Now, some teams play much better pick and roll defense than others. Phoenix's defense on the pick and roll tonight was bad, and so Houston just exploited it. And look, let's give credit to Kevin McHale and his staff here. We've ripped them for not making adjustments. Well, looks like they made an adjustment between the last Phoenix game and this game. Hey, their defense on pick and rolls isn't good. Pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. That's how you should do it. You keep running it until they stop it. And if they can't stop it, you're going to win easy. And that's what this game was about when it mattered. We saw Dallas adjust from game one to game two. What they did in the second game was they made and I think Motiejunas was asking me about this. Hey, Paul, did you see the EJ's keys to the game for Phoenix? I did see it. Motiejunas. It said, slow down Jeremy Lin. That was EJ's point number 2. And that's what Dallas did. Excuse me, that was the Phoenix game. Sorry about that. What Dallas did in the second game was they hard trapped Jeremy on pick and rolls. And they did what's called shading the pick and roll. What shading means is when the man with the ball comes around after the other guy sets a pick, and then the man with the ball comes around that man, and he should be free, right? Well, then the defender, the man who set the pick, his defender comes up, and it's like a double team. He stops the man with the ball. Or if the man with the ball doesn't go straight to the basket after the pick, and he kind of like goes more towards like the middle of the floor, that other defender goes up on him like he's going to double team him. That's shading. He'll come up and then he'll go back down. That's called shading a pick and roll. It's like a double team, but then you back off of it. You don't stay with him and double team him. You show like you're going to double team, and then you go back down to the other man. That's called shading on a pick and roll. And that's what Dallas did, and it's worked because it didn't let J-Lin get momentum for layups like he did tonight. So Phoenix should have been doing that. They didn't do it, and so Jeremy was getting easy layups. And that's strategy. I mean, that's how you do it. Okay, he's killing us with this, so make an adjustment. Well, Phoenix didn't do that, but Houston did, and they kept running it, and it worked. Okay, we mentioned this before, and hey, maybe, like I said, maybe Jeremy is watching these videos. I mentioned this the last couple of games. Jeremy keeps getting hit in the mouth, right? And he's all bloody. Said, Jeremy should get a mouth guard. What'd you see tonight? Jeremy was wearing a mouth guard. I don't think he had that before. But I'm glad he got it. Mouth guards helped to protect your teeth when you're playing. But what it really ends up doing most of the time is your teeth are what cause cuts. So if you get hit in the face and like around the mouth, the reason you get cut is because your cheeks and your lips hit your teeth, and that causes the cut. So if you have the mouth guard, you don't get cut because it runs in the lips and cheeks hit the mouth guard, not the teeth, no cut. And so I was happy to see Jeremy playing with the mouth guard tonight. So that was good. Okay, early in the third, Jeremy had a nice pass over the defense to Asik for a dunk in transition. That was sweet. That made the score 62-48 Houston. 10 minutes and 19 seconds left in the third quarter, and it led to a Phoenix timeout. I also made a note at this point in the game that Houston was running less isolations for James Harden. Now, I don't know if that's because his foot was sore. Whatever it was, I'm going to give credit to Kevin McHale and his staff. Again, we criticize them when it doesn't go well, and when they don't design good game plans. We got to give them credit when they do run good game plans. More pick and rolls, more balanced offense, not ISO, hero ball. And it worked tonight, and that's why all the starters had double figure scoring. As I said, that's why I go over this stuff so much. The game doesn't just happen. You don't just roll the ball out there and people just play. There's strategy. There's strategy and adjustments and matchup advantages, and you have to know all that. The coaches have to know that. And as a fan, the more you understand about that, the more you can appreciate the game and understand what's going to happen and what should happen. And as I said, that's part of what I try to do in these videos because I understand most of that. I'm not perfect. There are people that know more about the NBA than me, but not many of them. And not many of them that aren't working as scouts or coaches or whatever. So as I said, once you start seeing this stuff, then it's fun because the game's like a chess match. And Houston won the chess match tonight, and I give credit to the coaching staff for that. Okay, early in the third as well, Jeremy had a nice pass to Chandler Parsons for layup and transition, and he did the drive, draw, and dish thing, right? Which is drive, draw the defender, then throw a little dish to the other guy who's the defender left him. And that's what he did for Chandler. Easy layup and Chandler was fouled. So you got an and one on that. And then I wrote, JLin has super swag now. Swagger. He is rolling Linsanity groove. And it started because of all that pick and roll. Any hater, any doubter, you get a game tape of this game tonight and watch it on a loop and then tell me Jeremy's a fluke. If you want Jeremy Lin to roll, play like this. Now again, Jeremy needs to continue to work on his outside shooting and playing off the ball without the ball in his hands dribbling. But he can play like this anytime. He's used to this. This was Linsanity 1.0. And it was great to see it. I'm happy that the offense and the coaching staff knew, let's do some more of this, and it worked. Okay, middle of the third, Jeremy, another half-court pass, this one again to Demo for layup. So that was like his third half-court pass or full-court pass of the game that worked, as opposed to like one that didn't work. With 5:48 left in the third quarter, Houston was up by 18. And I just made a note that said, this is a full and balanced offense now. It's spread out, and it's not ISO ball. This was Knicks' successful, everybody involved ball, and it worked great. And like I said, Demo is great in this. He's better than Tupat or Marcus Morris. Why? Because not only can he shoot threes, he can post up. And those guys have moves. Marcus and Pat have moves. But they're not as big as Demo with post-ups, and they're not as good as Demo. And that's why you needed to have – that's why they traded Marcus Morris for nothing, for a pick. Why? Because you needed more time for Demo to play. And that's what they did tonight, and man, it worked great. It worked great. Okay, middle of the third, I made a note there. Jeremy had a dangerous pass in transition. That was one of the near turnovers. That's why I wrote, slow down. Now he's playing a little bit too quick there. And then right after that play, Dragic tied up Jeremy, like where it was a held ball. I think that's what you call it. It was both guys have their hands on the ball. And so what they do is they do a little jump ball. And Phoenix won that jump ball. And so it wasn't, neither of those counted as turnovers. One wasn't a turnover. It was close to a turnover. And then the held ball doesn't count as a turnover, but they were two very, one ended up being Phoenix's ball, and the other one almost was Phoenix's ball. So that was the one thing for Jeremy tonight. Be careful of that. Just don't play too quick. And that's my only thing for, the thing to work on or the negative or whatever for tonight. Other than that, he played phenomenal. Late in the third, Jeremy had a nice pass to Demo. Demo was about 7 feet from the basket along the right baseline, just outside of the paint. And Demo just put in a little left-handed baseline floater. Great pass. That came with 3 minutes and 48 seconds left and put Houston up 22. That led to a Phoenix timeout, and that was the end for the starters. That was the last that Jeremy played in this game, and the last that most of the starters played in this game. And like I said, look, man, it's all about Jeremy Lin. It's all about Jeremy Lin because the ball's in his hand. And yeah, sometimes it's in Harden's hands too. And, can they coexist? Of course they can coexist. Just like LeBron and Dwayne Wade coexist, even though they were both ball-dominant players when they got together. You have two excellent players. If you have two excellent players, they can always coexist. You just have to learn how to coexist and how to play off of one another. And they're already starting to do that, and it's going to get better. Okay, in the fourth quarter, as I mentioned, Aaron Brooks got to play some with about 6 minutes left, and that was really cool to see. So, look, it was a great game. Got the revenge and got back into stride for the playoff push. Secondly, please, 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 Coach McHale, keep running pick and rolls for Jeremy Lin. and keep having a balanced offense like you ran tonight. And as I said, it takes time. I can tell you right now, Demo and Thomas Robinson were more relaxed tonight, particularly Thomas Robinson. And that takes time, right? We said it's going to take time. You got to get used to your new team and chemistry. And everybody wanted to say that Thomas Robinson's a failure and all this junk after, he was here for about 3 days. It takes time, but you're starting to see them grow. And it's not a coincidence that they had 3 days of practice to get more chemistry, and it worked. It was great. Like I said, if we can get this type of production from the power forward spot, like what happened in this game, this team could be dangerous in the playoffs. Real dangerous. So a total win. Awesome. And right on time with Utah and the Lakers losing tonight. So phenomenal. Okay, it is 12:03 a.m. early Thursday morning, March 14th, 2013, here on the eastern coast of the United States, which means it is 1:03 p.m. in Taipei, Taiwan, and it is 4:03 p.m. in Sydney, Australia, where Dyson is right now. Again, I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to do more of the comments from Game 63 and Game 64. But again, I will work on comments from this video going forward, Game 65 going forward. And I will work on a response video for Jeremy Lintel's Mikhail Doubtslin video. I think I will start doing fewer comment responses in the game videos, though, just because it lets me get it done quicker and get up quicker. And I know you guys want to respond and listen to these videos as quickly as you can after the game. So I'm probably going to start doing fewer comment responses within these game videos. Okay. Let's go over this trade rumor stuff, right? Sam Smith, Chicago Bulls, or Chicago, whatever he's with now, Bulls.com. And, right, the rumor is Daryl Morey, the general manager of the Houston Rockets, is supposedly letting it be known that he's willing to trade Omer Asik and Jeremy Lin in this upcoming offseason. Now, what do I think about that? Okay. General managers are like poker players, the card game poker, right? Which is to say that they run bluffs. Hey, I'm pretending I have great cards, and I don't have great cards. They run feints, like a feint in boxing. You pretend you're going to punch, but you don't punch. If you're a good general manager, you need to be able to fake other people out, and you need to be able to have strategy. Do I think Jeremy Lin's going to get traded? Nope. But what I think Daryl Morey is doing is he wants it to get out to people like Dwight Howard and Chris Paul. Hey, we'll trade our guys to get you. In other words, he wants to keep those guys interested. He wanted Sam Smith to report this, or someone else to report it, so that it gets back to Dwight Howard and Chris Paul. We're serious about pursuing you. And don't think just because Jeremy Lin's here, Chris Paul, that we won't get you and you won't be able to start. Don't think, Dwight Howard, that just because we spent money on Omer Asik that we won't get you and you won't be able to start. That's why Daryl Morey's doing this, in my opinion. And I don't have a problem with it. Look, I love Jeremy, but if I could get Chris Paul, would I get him over Jeremy? Yeah, of course I would, because Chris Paul's better than Jeremy. Now, that doesn't mean I'm disloyal to Jeremy, and neither is Daryl Morey. It's just Daryl Morey is in the business of getting the best players he can possibly get. And that's what this is about. So what I'm saying is either Houston's going to end up with those type caliber of players, and that's the top of the top, or else Jeremy's not going to get traded. And my guess is Jeremy's not going to get traded because I don't think Chris Paul is coming to Houston. Now, maybe, look, if Chris Paul comes to Houston and Jeremy gets traded, well, then we'll follow Jeremy wherever he goes. But for Houston, that would be a good trade. And so I can't be mad at Daryl Morey for saying that or looking at that. But I do not think it will happen. I don't think Chris Paul is coming to Houston or someone of that level. So my guess is Jeremy isn't going anywhere. This is a strategic move by Daryl Morey that probably has a 5% chance of working. And I don't think it's going to work for Jeremy. With Dwight Howard, I have no idea. Look, Dwight Howard's playing well again. He put up enormous numbers yesterday. I know people don't like Dwight Howard. And look, Dwight Howard's a clown. I mean, I will say that with no reservations, but he can play. Would I want Dwight Howard over Asik? Yeah. Even though Howard has the bad back and he does have a history of clownishness and he's older than Omer, he's still a better player. And I can tell you this, if you like Jeremy Lin, you would rather have Jeremy Lin playing with Dwight Howard. Why? Because Dwight Howard will finish everything. You know, Omer doesn't catch the ball, can't dunk or whatever. Well, Dwight will dunk everything. So Jeremy would get more assists. So we'll see what happens. My guess is both of those players, Dwight Howard and Chris Paul, are going to stay in L.A. Chris Paul with the Clippers, Dwight Howard with the Lakers. That's what I think is going to happen right now. And we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but the upshot is this. I think there's a 5% or less chance that Jeremy Lin's going to get traded from Houston. And so I wouldn't worry about it too much. You're going to hear all kinds of rumors and stuff. Don't take everything with a grain of salt. And if you're not sure, just come ask me. I'll tell you. I understand the personnel game of the NBA pretty well. I know what Daryl Morey is trying to do in this situation. So just ask me and I'll be happy to address it. And again, I could be wrong, and I will be wrong on certain things, but I don't think I'm wrong about this, about what Daryl Morey is saying regarding Jeremy Lin and Omer Asik. Okay, next game is in 2 days, Friday, March 15th, here in the United States, 8 p.m. Eastern Time against the Minnesota Timberwolves. That means that the game will take place early Saturday, March 16th at 9 a.m. in Taipei, Taiwan. This is another must-win game. Minnesota is playing better. I mean, they just destroyed. I mean, who was it? They just beat down some team Utah or something that they shouldn't have beaten. And Ricky Rubio is playing great again. And I'm happy about that. Ricky Rubio is a phenomenal player. And he had that bad ACL knee injury. I was like, oh, man. He's another player like Jeremy, which is to say the NBA has big plans for Ricky Rubio because he's European, he's international, and they want to use him to help grow the game. And so when you saw him get that knee injury, it's like, oh, it's just, even if, forget about Minnesota fan, just if you're a basketball fan, he's just such a great player. Now he's starting to play like himself again. So it's going to be a good matchup for Jeremy. As I told you, those two guys get along together, and they should. They're both critical international stars for the NBA. They have a lot in common. They play the same position. It's going to be a good matchup, and but Houston needs to win. Houston needs to win that game. Minnesota's still playing without Kevin Love, who's one of the best power forwards in the game because he's out with injury. You need to win. You got to win. So, and I think they will win. And but that's the next game, and we're looking forward to it. And Houston now has a home stand, which means they have a number of games at home in a row, maybe like 5 or 6 games or something. It's time to win and shore up position, because after the homestand, they're going to have to go back on the road again, getting close to ending the season. Now you need to rack up the wins so that you can afford a couple losses on the road later. So that's it. I'm extremely happy about this game. It went like I thought it would go in terms of winning, and I thought Jeremy would perform well, but I'm so happy with how the offense ran, how Jeremy played, and how the power forwards played. It's a lot of encouragement from this game. As frustrating as the last game was, you guys heard Mikhail saying stuff about, somebody made a comment, oh, horse bleep, effort or whatever. He was just frustrated. I was frustrated. That last game was a trap game. It's a game you shouldn't have lost, and you lost it. And so it's frustrating if you're a coach. I mean, it's very frustrating. So, but they fixed it tonight. As bad as that was, that's how good this was tonight. Great. So, excellent. Everybody should be happy. Haters are going to scurry. Time to crawl back under the rocks, go back into the darkness, put away your Jeremy Lin's a joke threads on Clutch fans and everywhere else. And now it's Lin fans, puff your chest out, hold your heads up high. This was a great game. And Jeremy was critical for this win. Critical. And I love it, man. I love it. Okay, your comments below. Thumbs up, thumbs down on this video. Give you the full information, the video description below the video player. Game highlights, game stories, box score of tonight's game. And as I mentioned, give you a link so you can go and check out the YouTube channel of JeremyLintel. Andy, our man, is doing his thing. I want you guys to go and support him. And I know a lot of you already are, and that's great. But he's doing a good job, and so go help him out. Show him some love. Subscribe, rate his videos up, all of that. I am Paul at Villarreal, the NBA expert. Thanks a lot for watching Conservative New Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Sorry, Andy. We have to keep saying that. Even if you're going to overtake us, but we have to keep saying that. But look, like I said, I'm happy that Andy's doing this. The more the merrier. Jeremy Lin is one of the biggest stars in this world. There's a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. And the more people that can cover Jeremy and talk about him, I think it's great. I think it's great. It's a great story. He is a pioneer, and he deserves the coverage. So we can't do all of it. We can't do all of it. We can do what we can, but I'm happy other people are doing it. And I'm sure Andy will find things that I miss. And that's the way these things go. And again, I can't do the highlights stuff that Gerald and Blyon are doing. We don't do that. And so it's good that there are other people getting involved. And I encourage more people to get involved. Our viewers and stuff, you make videos about Jeremy Lin. If you want to make them and you want to express yourself, go for it. That's the way it should be. Okay. Awesome game. I hope everybody is having a good day or night wherever you are around this world when you watch this video. We will talk to you again soon. And again, I will work on watching Andy's video about Mikhail doubting Lin and working on a response to that. And I get into the comments now and come and talk with you guys. So good stuff. Take care. Talk to you soon.